Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Friday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live from the First Alert Digital Desk, where I'll have updates on the weather for the rest of this, what's a pretty beautiful Friday, and then a chance of severe weather as we look towards your weekend. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Sorry for a little bit of a delayed stream. We had some technical difficulties, but we got those fixed now, and we're here on stream. I hope everyone's enjoying their Friday so far. I've gotten to go outside where it's just a little bit cooler out there compared to what we've been seeing over a majority of this month. We take a look outside right now. This is starting off at Holton Lake, an area that's usually pretty active during our weekends in the summer. We're seeing blue skies, just some sort of fluffy clouds out there, and just plenty of sunshine. But again, you are on the cooler side. When we look at another camera real quick, and I actually had to fix this, just having things wanting to fight us right now. But we take a look out at Birch Run. It's a very similar outlook in the sky. Traffic flow right now is looking good, and you have plenty of sunshine. Out towards Mount Pleasant, it's also a pretty similar outlook in the sky. Plenty of sunshine with just those fluffy clouds trying to develop, but plenty of sunshine here for your Friday afternoon. Now, we look at our sky tracker, we do see that image in the sky. It is relatively clear, just those light, fluffy clouds out there right now, and they'll continue to be something we see on and off. It's just those light clouds. You'll have plenty of sunshine through the rest of your afternoon and clear skies into the night. And again, I want to thank everyone for joining me. If you have any questions, you can head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There, I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. We always try to answer the questions in our area, try to keep the questions about locations in our areas, because if you ask about a question outside of our state or even our area, sometimes we don't always have the time, especially on an active pattern like we're seeing for tomorrow, to look at other people's weather. But we do care about you, and we try our best to answer any questions that we do get. Now, looking at our temperatures right now across the board, like I said, if you've been outdoors, you're feeling it just a little bit cooler out there, with many in the mid-70s. Our warmest areas are areas like Clare at 76, Bay City at 76, Saginaw at 75, with Midland also at 75. There's still a few areas along the shorelines there, north of the bay into our eastern counties that do see mid to upper 60s. You have Port Hope at 69, Harbor Beach at 68, and Port Sanilac at 66. So just a few of those areas, just a little bit cooler right now on this Friday. Now, looking at our dew points is another thing that I know a lot of people have been looking for some relief in, and we see dew points lower 50s, upper 40s. That is very dry compared to what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. That humidity not a factor through this afternoon. So that's another positive for today. I know a lot of people are going to be outdoors. If you have any outdoor plans, I'd get out there today and enjoy them if you're going into our local events or even just events around the state. It's a perfect day to get out there and enjoy those. And I hope everyone does get to enjoy those here on this Friday. Now, winds, they have stayed relatively calm. It's mostly out of the southeast or east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's why I think areas along that shoreline there to the east, just a little bit cooler. You typically have that with this east wind. But again, you're not that much cooler across the region than maybe some other areas inland as we get through the afternoon. And we'll actually see that in our highs for today. You should end up getting back into the mid-70s. You'll have areas like Port Hope at 77, Bad Axe at 75, Sandusky 75. So definitely have some warming up chances for this afternoon. The rest of the state, rest of the region, I should say, also have a few more degrees to go. You got Midland at 78, Gladwin at 77, Standish at 75, East Tawas at 71 is one of the cooler areas. That's just with the help of that southeast wind keeping you cool. If you look out to the west, Mount Pleasant 78, Clare 77 are some of the areas, again, just getting up there with that warmth as we head into the afternoon. Now, I'm going to take a quick preview of our weekend. We'll dive more in depth at our weekend here in just a little bit. But for now, just a quick little preview shows Saturday, rain chances want to arrive as early as noon. Those will be for areas out towards 127, Mount Pleasant, Clare, even north towards Holton Lake. I think that will be the time frame you could see your rain chances, at least with the line that moves through. That will continue through a majority of our afternoon, up till about 8 p.m. But it's not an all-day thing. If you have plans for tomorrow, and you'll hear me say this a couple of times, I wouldn't cancel them. I would just plan around that you may have a quick period of time where you could see strong and severe storms that make you go into shelter. So if you have outdoor plans for Saturday afternoon, I just plan ahead now to have just that plan, staying weather aware through your Saturday afternoon. Then Sunday looks to be another nice day. This is sort of a repeat of last week. Last week we had that severe weather chance for Saturday. Obviously, many got lucky and missed out. There were some areas that didn't. I know out towards Sanilac County had many reports of some wind damage in that area out west last weekend. And then obviously if you're in Metro Detroit, you did end up seeing quite a bit of rain last week. So we repeat that sort of outlook for this weekend. Saturday, severe weather chances, showers and thunderstorms will not be an all-day thing. Please remember that if you have plans, it will not ruin your day. But it may ruin a few hours if you can just set up right into the afternoon, even a few minutes. Then Sunday, you look to be nice. I'm going to quickly take a quick break, and after that break, I'm going to look at lows, highs, and then obviously just a deeper dive into that severe weather chance that we have for our weekend. So just hold on tight. We'll have more updates on that severe weather in just a second. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, once again live from the First Alert Digital Desk. I want to thank everyone for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Obviously, if you're asking something maybe out of our region, I won't have the best knowledge just because we've been focused on our region, especially for tomorrow with that severe weather chance. Now, lows for tonight, they're going to be a little bit warmer than what we had last night. It's lower 60s to the mid to upper 50s. There were some areas out towards Holton Lake, maybe a little bit farther north than that towards West Branch, where your lows last night actually got into the 40s, the lower 40s. So it was a cool one. If you were out and about, you definitely had to feel that this morning. One of the cooler nights we've had maybe of all summer, since at least the start of summer into the really end of spring. Because we've been so warm here through really much of June and into the start of July. Now, when we get into our weekend, our highs do start to show a little bit warmer. It's still below average in many locations, with upper 70s and lower 80s with a few mid 80s in our southern counties, but it's just going to be warm enough that will help fuel some of that severe weather chance that we do have for our Saturday afternoon. Obviously, the warmer you get, usually you see a little bit more energy there, but it's just enough that you do have that shot of seeing some severe weather for our Saturday. And dew points also increase. This is sort of a good telltale sign of severe weather. If you want to know when we could see some, go look at our dew points. If they're upper 60s to the mid to upper 70s, that's when we have our best shot, because it's really a sign of how much energy is in the atmosphere. Moisture really means energy in the atmosphere, and we can see by 4 to 5 p.m. dew points upper 60s, lower 70s. So that's really a good amount of moisture in the atmosphere. It's going to feel humid out there, and that's going to help fuel that line as it moves through. Now, does the line hold together? There's still a lot of question marks when it comes to severe weather here into the weekend. It was similar to what we had last weekend. Models are struggling just a little bit with placement, with setup, with timing, but I think our best window is going to be into the afternoon, right around 4 to 5 p.m. to see our severe weather chances. I think we'll get some development before that. And that is why the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted the severe weather for Saturday. It's a slight level 2 risk into the afternoon. I think the timing for this is going to be, again, seeing development as early as 1 p.m., rolling all the way through about 8 p.m. at latest. Our threats for tomorrow will include strong winds and heavy rain. I think that will be our biggest threat. So localized flooding, similar to what we had Wednesday, where you may get a cell that pops up, very heavy rain in a short period of time, and then it moves out and you're dry. I think we also have a small risk of hail. There's still some questions with lapse rates with hail. And then right now we are going to highlight an isolated tornado chance. That will be really in the area that you see that light, that slight risk. Now, again, there is shear there is energy. Does it come together? That's really the question we have here at TV5, because I think models are suggesting it really does struggle to come together. So look at the headlines for what we know tomorrow. What we know is it looks like it's going to be one window. It's going to be one line. And that line may not be put together. It might be isolated cells, but it will come across in a similar fashion across the state. Once that storm moves through, you should be in the clear. Now, there may be some signals of some isolated cells developing on the backside, and that, again, could give you a quick shower and then moves out. The question is, we do have a messy atmosphere. Storm ingredients are there. They're not the greatest. They're not the highest amount, but it's enough that we just have to pay attention into tomorrow afternoon, and how they align is really the biggest question. It's like a puzzle. You have a 100-piece puzzle. Well, a storm has really a 10-piece puzzle, 20-piece puzzle. You have the pieces. You got to put them together to get that image for severe weather. And we maybe lost a few pieces behind the couch, or maybe they fell on the floor and we're still looking for them. They could come together as we get into the afternoon. So I'm going to look at a few models here. This is just one of our many models that we use here at the TV5 First Alert Weather Team to keep you up to date. What it shows us for the rest of the day is sunshine. That's what we're going to see. You'll have a very wonderful Friday afternoon, just a little bit cool for some people. As we get into Saturday, though, cloud cover will start to roll in. Then right around, I'd say 1 p.m., so I'm going to take this back, we're going to start to see some development towards 127, maybe even 131 as we get into the afternoon. These shouldn't be severe as they start to develop. It's going to be as it gets into a better environment that's had some sun, had some chance to warm up, had maybe a chance to get some more moisture, that we do start to see that development. So we can see it's just along 131 into maybe 127 at 2 to 3 p.m. And again, it could change a little bit, but I think this is actually a pretty good timing from 1 to 2 p.m., seeing that development from 131 to 127, and then moving east throughout the afternoon. So it looks like the main portion of that line. And again, I know it doesn't look like a line. It is really struggling, at least on this model, to hold a linear setup. But it is moving all together to the east, to the Tri-Cities. We're saying Midland, Bay City, Saginaw. I'd say 4 to 5 p.m., could be as late as 6 p.m. like this model is showing us. And then just continues to move east with cells that could be severe through Tuscola County through really 7 to 8 p.m., maybe even as late as 9 p.m. But I'd say by 10 p.m., a majority of that line, a majority of our severe weather ingredients move out, and we actually look to have a nice Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, comparing our models, I collected 4 of the models that we have. This is from our sort of midday model runs. These will update here in the next hour or so. We'll have updates on our news at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6 of how the models change, and this will actually be updated. But we can see there's not much agreement from the weather models. We can see the top left, that is a graph 4-kilometer model, has most of that development out towards the north in 127. The model to the top right, that's the that's the NAM 3 kilometer. So it's showing that line developing through the Tri-Cities down to 127 into maybe the Lansing area by 4 p.m. Down to the bottom left, that is our Euro 9 kilometer model. That's showing it way far northwest. So that would, by the time it rolls in, not be in the best environment for severe weather. And then we have the HRRR, the HRR, as some may call it. That's another 3 kilometer model. That's to the bottom right. And what we see there is, again, just not lining up very well. So I think the picture the models are trying to paint for us, or trying to put together the puzzle, is we're going to have our best chance of severe weather in a window from at least starting from 2 to 4 p.m. Now, it could be a little bit earlier than that, but I'd say 2 to 4 p.m. is going to be the best window to see the start of showers and thunderstorms develop. Then having our best severe weather chance probably from 4 to 6 p.m. and then moving out of the region by about 8 to 9 p.m. Obviously, there's still some delay that could happen through the day, but I do think it's a short window. It's not going to ruin your day. Again, you've heard me say this before. If you have plans for your Saturday, I would not cancel them, but make sure you're planning around the idea that if a storm does develop in your area, you may have to go into shelter real quickly. There's going to be lots of lightning. Obviously, you could see some flash flooding from heavy rainfall. You could see hail. And then, again, there is an isolated tornado chance. I think it's going to shrink as of right now with the latest model runs, but it is there that you could see a quick spin up into tomorrow afternoon. And as always, if we do get that spin up into the afternoon, your TV5 First Alert Weather Team will be live either here at the desk or even on air, keeping you up to date with the weather around the region through our Saturday afternoon. So make sure you're keeping up to date with us. We'll have updated forecasts on our website at wnem.com/weather. There we always have updated forecasts and updated weather information. Now, before I end, I do want to take a look at 7-day forecasts because, again, Sunday looks to be a pretty nice day. Temperatures upper 70s, mostly sunny skies. We'll hold on to those 70s for Monday. Now into Tuesday, you do see a return to the 80s. That will be more widespread. Wednesday, a return to the 90s. So if you're someone that maybe doesn't like the 70s that we have for today, but you're looking for 90s, you'll get that mid next week. Now, it does come with expected showers and thunderstorms. Obviously, when we get to the 90s, we do still have maybe higher dew points or maybe a severe weather outlook once again for Wednesday into Thursday. It's still a long ways out, though. Still a lot of time. Things will change. As always, we'll keep you up to date there. But 80s will hold around for Thursday with, again, scattered showers and thunderstorms. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here on this Friday. As always, you can catch us here at 2 p.m., hopefully at 2 p.m. again. I apologize for the little bit of the delay today as we did have some technical difficulties, but we got those fixed quickly. We're here on this stream. We'll be live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. From the First Alert Digital Desk, keeping you up to date with your weather needs. So I'm going to end this off looking at Mount Pleasant camera. I want to thank everyone for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.